Welcome to Ryan's Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. Today we have a ACST Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour Division B quarterfinal match between the number 1 seed Dan Esdale out of Millis and the number 8 seed in the wild card Kevin Dietrich, who's out of spare time or sunny side in Danvers. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm Dan Castle, and we're about to get underway. The bowlers have been practicing and warming up well and waiting patiently for me to get it set up. So we are ready to roll as soon as the bowlers are ready to get up there. So Dan is the home bowler, but he's selected to go first, and we'll be starting on lane 11 in Ryan's and Millis. All right, so today's format, this is a playoff match. It's round 1, the quarterfinals, and it is an elimination match. So what will happen here is we will bowl 5 games. Each bowler will bowl 5 boxes on the lane that they start with, and Dan starts out with a nice head pin hit that ended up in what I call the W leave. He just took out the 1, 8, and 9, something you'll never see in 10 pin. Tough spare leave. He's on the 6 pin, picks up 2 more. He's got 5 to pick up for the 10. And he's out with a 6 box. A little disappointing start, but it's only the first box in the entire game out of 50, so a long ways to go. So the format today is, again, as I mentioned, will be 5 games. The bowlers are bowling 5 boxes at a time. So Dan will complete 5 boxes, and then Kevin will come up for his 5 on lane 11. And once he's finished with his first half, then Dan will switch over to lane 12, and we'll do it again. And we'll be going back and forth like that through the 5-game series here. Dan on his first ball, again on a head pin. He was took out 7. He's left with the 2, 7, and 8, and he picked up just the back 2. Now, normally in an ACST match, the bowlers are bowling for points. And the points that they normally receive are 2 per game, 4 for total, a total of 14 awarded for every match. And those points accumulate to get them where they are today in the playoffs round. We take the top of each group of 4 in the 16 in the south and the 16 in the north, and the best 4 behind them. So 8 out of the 16 in each conference go to the playoffs. It's a single elimination. The winner moves on to the next round. The loser is done for the season. And rather than points, as we do in a normal match, today we'll be bowling for total score. So whoever has the most pins at the end of 5 games advances. So that makes this format interesting because you can win 4 games and your opponent wins the 5th game by a lot and you lose. So hang on your hats. 1 game will not make the difference. The bowlers both are intending to keep it close. So Dan Esdale, after 3 boxes, he's at 26 with a 6, a 10, and another 10. So his pinning's looking good. I see Elena's on there. Hi, Elena. Dan says hello, but he's bowling. And that was a good head. That's more what he's looking for here. He was in the pocket and took out 8. He's left with just the 4 and the 7. I'll update everybody on statistics as we go along. We've got a lot of playoff matches. And Dan goes to the left. He misses a spare, just picks up the 7. So a disappointing open box in the 4th for Dan Esdale. And a 10 box. So 3 10s in a row. His pinning is great, other than the first box. But he's really looking for that first mark before Kevin comes up. And today is Sunday on Memorial Day weekend. We are seeing a fair number of open bowlers here today, too. So a lot of action going on. Nice ball in the pocket. Everything but the 7 pin. Awful close to picking up a strike there. And there's the first mark of the match. Esdale picks up the single pin spare, and he will sit down with 46 and a ball for his first half. I've got the scoreboard in the range of the camera today. If you can read it, great. If you can't, don't worry. I'll be giving the score continuously as we go along. All right, now Kevin Dietrich comes up. Kevin's bowling out of Sunnyside in Danvers. And he came in to the last of the wild card spots. So he managed to get into the wild card. Now he's playing our number 1 seed for the B South Division. And ready to put on a fight. And his first ball, he was in the pocket, or on the head pin, but he only took out 5. And he picked up 3 more on the second ball. Now he's got just the 3 and the 6 pin with some wood in front of it. If he hits the wood, he should have a 10. And no doubt about that one, that's a 10 box to start. So Kevin Dietrich starts with 10. He's up 4 pins in completed boxes after just 1 box. Now he's up against 3 10s and a spare. First ball, off to the left onto the 2 pin. Picks up 7. The remains is the 1, the 6, and the 10. He's got some wood in front of the 6 and 10. If he can deflect the ball or the pin over there, he could have a spare. He's on the head pin, drives the pin over to the back, and picks up his first spare. So, spare in the second for Kevin Dietrich, and he's at 20 plus a ball. Very blurry? Okay, thank you, AJ. We'll fix that. Okay, focus looks good here. How does it look out on does it? Want to wave your hand in front of the camera a little bit? Yeah, the autofocus isn't picking it up the way we want it to. Got a little bit of a blur to the video. I'm sorry. I'll try to work on that as we go along. So as everybody knows, when I'm doing the show by myself, I'm not the best producer in the world. So we'll do the best we can. Dietrich's at 33 after 3, and he picked up the 9 drop with that ball. And there's his second spare, so 43 and a ball after 4. I'm going to give that lens a wipe. I think it might just be a little dirty. So after he throws this ball, I'll wipe the lens off. Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate it. And 3 in the fill for a 13 box, and 46 after 4 for Kevin Dietrich. All right, we cleaned up the lens a little bit. Hopefully that helps. And Dietrich drops 3 on his first ball, 5 on his second. He's left with a 7-10 split, and Wood takes a 9 box, and he'll sit down with 55. So Esdale's on a spare. He's at 46 plus his first ball, needs a 9 to catch up. So I'm not sure about the blurriness. It looks pretty good on my monitor here. And Esdale puts 5 in his spare for 51 at the half. He's left with the 4 horseman right plus a 7 pin. And everything but the head pin. Just misses on the spare there. And a 9 box for 60 after 6. So, as mentioned, Dan was the number 1 seed. That means in the B South Conference, he was the top bowler with a record of 166 points in the win column and 86 in the loss column, and he averaged 113.3 for the year. And Kevin was second in Group 2. And nice ball by Esdale right in the left pocket. He had some late action, so ends up with a 9 drop. He's got just a 7 again. That's what he spared the last time. So Kevin had a record of 126 and 126. Exactly 50-50. Esdale just misses a spare by maybe a quarter of an inch. I know he'd like that ball back again. And Dietrich ended up with an average of 108.7. And a 9 box for Dan Esdale, 69 after 7. Leaving the door open a little bit for Kevin. And there's Esdale again on the right-hand pocket. Nice ball, and he's left with just the 4 and the 10. And that wood sure looks interesting, but he wants to take a look at that first before he picks which one to shoot at. Nice shot, nice shot. Red line on the front wood. Takes out the 4 and the 10 for a beautifully done shot. And on the fill, he's right on the head pin, just takes out 5. And so his 8th box, he'll close out at 84. And see Brian Robinson's watching along with us. Welcome. Dan does not get a spare in a second ball. He's got just the 4-7 and the 3 left. He takes a careful 9 for 93. Okay, he's coming in at box 10. He's at 93 after 9. He really wants to mark out. Another head pin shot, another 5 to start. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. That's the 2, 4, 7, 6, and 10 pin. And he just picks up the 3 on the left. And a 10 box for a 103 string to start this 5-game series. And now Dietrich comes up to do his second half of game 1. And he doesn't need to mark to catch up. But certainly would like to put some marks in the bank. Head pin hit. Went cross lane on that. And he's got the 2, 4, 7, and 10 with some wood by the 2 pin that looks really interesting. And he unfortunately misses the object pin. The wood takes out the first 2, leaves the 7, 10. So it'll be open in box 6. Brian Heffernan is sending encouragement to Dan. And a 9 box, 64 after 6. All right, box 7. Kevin in the left-hand pocket, and he misses leaving the castle. And he's got just a 6 and the 10 with some wood by the 6. It's at a bit of a sharp angle, but if he hits in the red line, it should go. But he misses wide to the left. That's a ball he'd like to have back. So he'll be open in box 7. Keeping it close. And bowler's call on that one. He called it good. 9 box, 73. Esdale's going up to get Kevin's ball for him. Came back through the channel. All right, Kevin coming into box 8. He's up 4 pins in completed boxes, but he's up against a spare. And another head pin hit, and this time he leaves a 4 and a 7 with some wood. This time he picks up the spare to match Dan's spare in the 8, so that'll put him at 83. His score system says it's a strike. That was not a strike. That was an 8 and then a spare. So that'll give him 83 plus a ball again, and Esdale's at 84 in box 8, and then he had a 9 box and a 10 box. And just 2 in the fill. So it's 85 to 84 after 8 boxes. And Esdale's open in the last 2, as I said, so. Now this gets interesting, doesn't it? He just punched out the right hand, too. And he needs to clean some pins up or he's going to be forced to make a spare in the 10th. And just won a 5 box. So now Esdale's back in the lead, 93 to 90, and through completed 9 boxes. And if Kevin wants to win the first string, he needs a spare 4. Well, he certainly got the leave for it. That took out 7. He's got the 3, 6, and 7, and some wood beside the 2 on the right. They should be able to be kicked over to the 7. And he went wide, just took out the back pin and the wood, and he's left with the 3 pin only. Needs this for 100. Gets it. It's a 103 to 100 win for Esdale on the first game. And we're going into game 2 with Dan Esdale 3 pins in the lead. Remember, points don't count in this match. All we care about is total score. So if we'd been in a regular season, Esdale would have picked up 2 points on that, but doesn't matter. So Dan Esdale coming up in box 1 of game 2. Up 3 pins in total. And his first ball is in the left-hand pocket. Nicely done. And he takes an 8. He's left with the 6 and the 10. Going for a spare in the first. And he gets it. Much better start than the last string. Last string, as you recall, he started with a 6 box. So now Dan's coming into box 2 on a fill. First ball is a fill. And another ball in the left-hand pocket, but this time he only takes out 5, so that's 15 in the first box. And he's got the 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10 pins standing. On the object for the spare, but everything goes but the 6 pin. Great ball from Dan Esdale. And a 10 for 25 after 2. He's off to a better start than he was in the last string. He's doing good. In one of the other B Division quarterfinals, we saw Mike Legender and Dave Edison go at it for a very close match the other day. Came down to 4 pins, a 4-pin win by Mike Legender. So Dan Esdale has the castle right. 5, 6, 10. Some wood, and he put it right through the bunny hole. So that spare leave is often a result of a very good ball. You usually only have one piece of wood in front around it that doesn't help. This time he had a chance. He's going for it, and he picks up a 9 box for 34 after a 6. That's some interesting action there. He kind of capped the left-hand wood. Okay, he's 4 pins over par, so he's in a better position than last time. But he sure would like to put some more spares on the books. Well, that ball was on the pin, head pin, but too much head pin. So he gets a clipped eagle. Spread eagle minus the 7 pin. Not really the result he wanted of that ball. He was right on the head pin. Picks up 2 more. Everything gone but the 2, 3, and the 4 pin. And an 8 box. The 3 and the 2 and the 3 remain. So 42 after 4 boxes in game 2. You see the viewers have picked up a little bit. Again, it looks like we are dealing with some blurriness issues on this. I'm not really sure what the answer to that is. So and Dan on the head pin, beautiful shot. Takes out 9. He's got the 7 pin. Probably wants to make a clean shot of that. He's got some wood in front of it to the right. But I have a feeling that wood could deflect the ball. No, he took the cap of the wood and it worked still. So it's a spare in the 5th for Dan. Second time he's done that. Booking spares. Spare in the 1, spare in the 5. 52 and a ball after 2. After 5. All right, now Kevin Dietrich is up, and he gets the banana split. That is a term coined by Bobby Lee, I believe, and that's the 4, 7, 6, 10. Got some wood over there. He's going to try to kick it over. Doesn't go. But he gets the right hand, too. Great effort on that. And an 8 box. So he'll start out in the hole after the first box here. So coming into box 2. And Kevin is up 3 on the match, not including this game. It's a nice head pin hit, and he's left with a left-handed triangle, the 4, 7, and 8. And off to the right, just takes out the right-hand pin of the triangle. Okay, trying to close out with a 10, keep it close. And a 9 box. He was on his object pin, but it just punched through. So 9 gives him 17 after 2. And that puts him down 8 pins in completed boxes to Esdale's 25 after 2. Box 3. On the 2 pin. Not a bad result out of that. He gets everything but the 1 and the 10 pin. There's some wood down there by the 10. Be pretty if it goes. And he's now got to wait for the wood to settle down. Those of you who are not familiar with Candlepin, one of the interesting things about this game is we do use the pins that are down. They're not removed between boxes, and if they're still moving, you can't throw your ball yet. You're supposed to wait till it settles. So a 10 box, he missed a spare attempt. It's 27 after 3 for Kevin Dietrich. Down 7 pins and completed boxes. He's up against a 8 box and a spare, so he definitely wants to mark here. Right hand pocket, Brooklyn side for him. And that's a strike. First strike we've seen in this match. Good timing. And coming into box 5, he's in the left-hand pocket this time. Takes out 8. First ball in the fill. He's got just the 3 and the 6 left to try to make a 10 fill and a spare. Once again, the 2 pins up there, just picks out the 1 of the 2. Hits the object pin. The bowlers both agree that should have been a spare. It's a 9 fill for 46 after 4, and he'll be open and get box 5 with a 10. So Kevin sets down with 56, and now Dan Esdale comes up for the second half of game 2, and he's at 52 in a ball. So anything over 4 puts him back in the lead. We got a tight one here right now. Esdale, a disappointing fill so far, but he had some late action, so ends up with 5 in the fill, and he now has a 1-pin lead in this game, 57 to 56 in completed boxes. And a spare attempt, he needed to hit the head pin. He went wide, hit the 3, and only took the 3, and he's got the 1, 7, 8, 9. And just a head pin for a 7 box, 64 after 6. Up 4 over par. Dan bowls here in several leagues in Millis. Today he's in his lime green ACST shirt rather than his customary hockey sweatshirt. The t-shirt. And there's a 9 drop. He really would like that wood to move back, make it a strike. And somehow the 6 pin stayed up. There's double wood in front of the 6 pin. And there's a spare in the 7th for Dan Esdale. He went right for the pin. Bowlers are having fun with this. Now he's on a fill in the 8. So far his fills have been a little disappointing. He would like a big one here. That's a good ball. And again, a nice head pin hit results in a spread eagle and a 4 fill. Not what he wanted. 78 after 7. And just the 10 on the spread eagle attempt. So he's probably going to try to take just the left 3 out and call it a day on that box. And he picks up just 1 for a 6 box. 84 after 8. Okay. Box 9. He's on the 3 pin, does not get a punch out. And the head pin's wiggling. The 8 pin took a late dive. Now he's got that 1, 4, 7. Some wood there. Looks like it's a little in front of the 1 to the left. That could deflect the ball. He's on the wood, but he gets a spare. Well read. Spare in the 9th, 94 plus the ball. He's hoping for a better fill this time. He's got 4 spares in this string so far. on the head pin. A little full, but he didn't get the eagle again, so a 7 in the fill. That gives him 101 after 9. And he's got to shoot at a split, which is a 2, 4, and 10. He's going to right on the inside, just misses. And it'll be a 7 for a 108 game for game 2. All right, now Kevin Dietrich comes up, and he closed his first half at 56 with a strike. So he's going to need another spare to catch up, but only one spare. Nice ball off the head pin. And just the 1 and the 10. He's got wood behind the head pin. May not be angled correctly, but he might be able to kick it over. Tried for the cap, and he got nothing. So it'd be open in box 6. Okay, coming in for a 10. This time he hits the wood to the left. It's an 8 box. 64 knotted up in 6 box and completed frames. Both is 64 after 6. And another strike for Kevin Dietrich, his second strike in a match, matching Dan's spare in the 7th. So Kevin's only had 2 marks so far, but both have been strikes. He's throwing at 32.9 miles an hour on that last ball. That's at the pin, so you can add a few to that for what he's releasing at. Okay, first ball in a fill. Trying hard for a double. He was in the left pocket, and he only took out 6. He's left with a triangle in the middle of 5, 8, 9, 10 as they leave. Just missed the object pin. 7 for the fill. Puts him back in the lead. 81 after 7. So on completed boxes, he's up 3 pins. And it's a 7 box, so he'll be at 88 after 8. And that's up 4 pins in completed boxes in the game and a 1-pin lead in a match. It's a tight one. That time he's in the right pocket. Gets some good pin action, but he leaves the 2 and the 10. Nasty split. It's pretty when it goes. I love seeing that one go. You got to literally just kick the pin over. He tried to cut the inside. It misses everything. That put Esdale back in the lead in this string. He takes the prudent shot at the 10. And it's a 9 box for 97 after 9. He needs a spare 2 to catch up. Spare 1 to catch up, spare 2 to go ahead. And that time he's on the 2-pin, but he gets some pretty decent action for a 7 drop. He's got the 1, 3, and 6. Hey, Kyle Hetty, good to see you here. And he misses a spare, so Esdale will win this string. And a 9 box. So Kevin Dietrich finishes with a 106. Esdale picks up 2 more pins on his total. So after 2 games, Dan Esdale has a total score of 211, and Kevin Dietrich has a total score of 206. So Esdale is up by 5 pins. That's a pretty close match. Starting game 3, Esdale is on the 3-pin. Just takes out 3. He's got a 4 horseman left and a triangle in the back. Spare attempt. Nice try on that. Nice try. But only 4 more go. So he's got 2 on the right, 1 on the left. And he picks up the right hand 2, the 6 and the 10. He almost cuts over a pin into the 7th. But it's a 9 box to start. All right, here we go. Box 2, game 3. That time he is on the 3-pin. And he's left with a 1, 2, and 10. And picks up just the 2. I'll post a score here. And Dan Esdale has a 10 box for a 19 after 2 boxes. All right, that time he's in the pocket nicely on that ball. Had a powerful 9 drop, just left the 10 pin. And there's a spare for Dan Esdale. Nice clean pickup of the 10 pin. So 29 in a ball after 3 boxes in game 3.
Yeah, we have our own ball. We have our own ball.
Okay, Esdale on the fill, looking for a good fill this time. That time he's got a good fill. That's as good as you can get. That's his first strike. A 10 fill. He's been looking for one of those. 39 after 3. And a strike in the 4th for 49 plus 2 balls. Okay, coming into the first of 2 fill balls in box 5. In the right-hand pocket, picks up 5. Okay, he's got a makeable spare here with a cluster on the left-hand side. On the object, and it's an 8 fill in the strike. Open box in the 5th. 57 after 4. And coming out to close out the 5th box with an 8 box. So Esdale sets down. Good half, 65 after 5. Now he's putting some pressure on Kevin. I see Steve Carden and Mickey DiGianni and Nick Norcross. Welcome, guys. All right, Dietrich, first ball in game 3. Nice pocket hit. He's left with a right-hand triangle and some wood. Wood in front of the 9 pin might be a little tricky. He's all over it for a spare in the first box. No messing around this time. Okay, here it comes. Just went across the head pin, hit the 3 pin, but picks up 4 in the fill. Has an early lead in the string. 14 after 1. He went for the spare. Just picked up the object pin, the head pin. Now he's got 5 to pick up, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. And a 6 box. So he'll be at 20 after 2. That's a 1-pin lead in completed boxes, but he's up against a 20 box and an 18 box coming up next. And he needs to pick up 5 pins to get ahead in total. So he's got a little work to do here. That was a nice head pin hit. He broke up the split. He's got an opportunity here with the 3, 6, and 10 all in a row. And he goes wide to the right, picks up just a 10 pin. And it's an 8 box for 28 after 3. Now he's down 11 in completed boxes. All right, box 4. He punches out a half Worcester left. Right on the 3 pin. Only 2. It's makeable spare, but a tough one to make. And that's not what he wanted to do. He went off on a 6 pin, just picked up 2 more. Now it's a matter of pinning here. Try to get at least 4 here. That's what he probably wants to do. He'd like to get a 10, but that might be a tall order. All right, it's a 7 box. Picked up 3 more. 35 after 4, and right now in completed boxes he's down 22 pins because Esdale's at 57 after 4. Oh, we saw this before. 4 horsemen left. Triangle on the right. Just missed a head pin. He went across it. He gets the triangle portion, picks up a couple more. All right, it's the 1 and the 7. He'll be open in the 5th. All right, he's looking to close out with the 10 and regroup. He gets a 9, 44 after 5. So Esdale's got a healthy 21-pin lead in this game. Dan comes up 65 after 5. They're looking to pile on the pins right now. All right, first ball, box 6. In the right-hand pocket, and it's a strike. It's the second strike of this game. Esdale's heated up. 75 and 2 balls now. All right, looking for a double. He's in there again, and it's a double strike. That's 2. He was in the right-hand pocket, comes in cross lane, and that ball was at 31 miles an hour. We got to wait for the machine to reset. It's a little bit of a shock to its system whenever that happens. Esdale's piling on the score now. All right, he's going to try for a triple. Just off to the left, he picks up 6. So the 6th box will close out at 91. And now he's got a second ball and a fill on the 7th box. And just one more for a 7 fill in the box 7. So Dan's at 108 after 7 and one more ball remaining in the 8th. And it picks them all up. Beautiful shot. 118 after 8. You're really putting the heat on now. 2 boxes to go. Okay, first ball in the 9th box. Esdale on the 2-pin. He leaves a Colery, the 4 horseman right plus the 8-pin. Just off the head pin, not by much. Making a spare attempt on the clear. He just picks up the 8-pin. Took a little bit of a break on that one. Now he's got the 4 horsemen left. The 4 horsemen on the right are left. Let me clarify. And he closes with a 9 box, so he's at 127 after 9. 1 box remaining. Gets a spare, he could be over 140. That's really putting the pressure under Dietrich. All right, the first ball is in the right-hand pocket. And is it going? It's thinking about it. That 8-pin is wobbling, and there it goes. That was a hammer. That's Esdale's 4th strike in this string. He's at 137 plus 2 balls. That 8-pin was reluctant, but it finally gave up the battle and went down. All right, he's going for the fill in box 10. Just off the head pin. Takes out 5. That'll put him over 140. And he has just one more, and obviously not happy he missed the Colery. But a 143 game nonetheless for Esdale. That's a great string. And 354 for 3. Now Kevin Dietrich has to put up a lot of pins in his second half to stay close. And he starts with a 6 box. He was at 44 after 5. So he's got the 4 horsemen left, makeable spare. And he makes it. He needs to do that. Needs to do that often. 54 and a ball. All right, big, important ball for him. He goes off to the 2-pin. He's fortunate it's not a half Worcester, but he only picked up 1 more pin than he would have if it was a half Worcester, so a 3 fill. And does not get a spare. He'll be open in box 7. Hi, James. Good to see you on here. And an 8 box. So Dietrich is at 65 after 7. He's 5 under par. And Esdale closed box 7 at 108. So he's got a lot of work to do in these last 3 boxes. Off on a 6-pin. My alternative head pin, I call that, because I have days when I'm all over the 6-pin. And see this leave frequently, and with practice you can get good at getting it. But he's off to the right and just picks up the 3-pin. Now he's got 6 more to go.
Come on, man.
Dan is encouraging Kevin. Okay, a 7 box for 72 after 8. Kevin takes a fairly short approach. There you go. That was in the pocket, and that was a great ball. I don't know why it's not a strike, but the 7-pin decided to stay up, didn't get hit by anything. Just nudged. And in the gutter for a 9 box. Scoreboard says spare, but the scoreboard doesn't know that it's a foul. So he's at 81 after 9. Can't catch up this time, but he just wants to minimize the damage. Takes 3 on the first ball. And 4 more. Now he's left with a 1, 8, 9 to try to get a 10 box here. And he gets an 8 box for 89 in the third game. Not what he wanted to do.
There's 2 games left. Come on. Let's see what you can do. Come on.
Okay, so right now Dan Esdale is up 59 pins after that game.
We have sunny side again?
And the totals are Kevin Dietrich with 295 after 3. Dan Esdale 354 after 3. I'll post those scores as we begin game 4. And Esdale was off to the left on the first ball, and he took out just a few, and just 3, and he picked up 4 more on that one. So going for a 10 box, and gets a 9. So 9 to start game 4. Good to see you, Rob. Hope you're enjoying South Carolina. It's not raining here, pal. So box 2, game 4, Dan Esdale. Off on the 3-pin. Esdale threw 4 strikes in that last game. Dietrich threw 1 strike. So he took everything but the 1 and the 5 in that. How you do that, I don't know. He's going for the spare and misses the whole show. He thinks that if he gets a head pin, he should be able to get this, but you got to hit the head pin. And it's true. He picks up a 10 box. Nice shot. 1 and 5 only. The inverse of taking out a spread eagle plus 2, leaving 2. All right, box 3 is at 19 after 2. Half Worcester left, takes out just the 2 and the 8. After 3, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mickey. Good. Mikey, I'm trying to do too many things at once. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens to me. Apparently, I'm thinking about we're starting game 4. So I type 4. Hey, you know, it happens to me. At least I haven't called anybody by the wrong name today like I did the other day. 9 bucks for Dan Esdale, 28 after 3.
Thank you, Danny, for doing this.
Oh no, it's a
Show
good
my
time.
embarrassing bowling skills on Sunday.
Oh, I've been there many a time too. So, but you're not done. You got a ways to go.
I know I'm not done, but the object is hit the head pin, right?
Yep. Sometimes I have an estranged relationship with a head pin.
Okay,
There's a strike for Esdale, number 5. So where the names came up is the other day in the Edison versus Mike Legender match. I'm paying attention to the comments, and somebody says, "Who the hell is David McNamara?" Well, Dave McNamara is one of my best friends. He's my teammate, and apparently he's a teammate with me and Dave Edison on our Wednesday and Tuesday league during the winter and Tuesday in the summer. And so apparently I'm calling Dave Edison Dave McNamara, and I don't remember it. I haven't heard the recording, but I got called out on it. So it does happen. The old man sometimes gets confused, you know. Maybe I need a nap. All right, gang. Esdale in his first ball, he took out 6 in the fill of the strike. He's got the 1-2. What's that behind there? It looks like the something's off spot. I'd say it's the 8. It went. Whatever it was fell. 9 in the fill, 47 after 4, and he's opening the 5th box. A 9 box. Well, Elena, when you get to my age, naps aren't always voluntary. Sometimes it just happens. Hopefully you're in a safe place when it happens. All right, wood in the gutter. Kevin Dietrich coming up with a 59 pin deficit after 3 games. Looking to make up some ground. Esdale threw a 56 half, so he's going to want to see 2 or 3 marks per half at least here. Starts off on the 2 pin. Leaves a lambda, as Bob calls it. If you've ever taken Greek, which I did when I was in school, you know your Greek alphabet, and that resembles the Greek letter lambda, which is the L version in the Greek alphabet. Google it. You'll see what I mean. So he just took out the back 2. It's got the 1 and 3 left. If you're really good at the Greek alphabet, you can do what I used to be able to do, and when I was pledging my fraternity in college, we had to learn the Greek alphabet, and I got pretty good at speaking fast and could hold a lip match in my hand and recite the Greek alphabet 3 times before I burnt my finger. I can still do it, by the way. All right. Just picked a 7 pin on that first ball. I went wide to the left, trying to pick a spare off the 9 remaining, but yeah, I just watched that movie the other day with my son-in-law. I'm showing him old movies, and Revenge of the Nerds is one that we watched recently. I'm an Animal House fan too. Animal House was big when I was in college. One of the writers was a member of my fraternity. So there's a lot of references that members of my fraternity pick up in the movie. Okay. Danny Finn, the commissioner, is watching. I guess I better clean it up now. All right. Look at that. There's a strike for Kevin Dietrich. Looking for a double, and he needs one. Oh, it's not too far from getting one.
Kevin, nice to see you.
And Kevin's back. So 8 drop, first ball in the strike. The 5 and the 8 left, trying for market. And he goes wide on it, just an 8 fill. So that puts him at 37 after 3. He's up against Esdale's 19 box, where he had a strike in the 4th. And it's an 8 box overall. Dietrich will be at 45 after 4, down 2 pins in completed boxes. That puts him down 61 altogether. He needs to really ramp it up here. And it's a 3-pin hit. 1, 2, 7, 5, 8, 9 are left down there. Some wood in the mix. It's his object pin, and is it going to go? Oh, he nudges it. Everything but the 2 pin. Pretty good hit. All right, a 9 box. So Kevin closes with 54. He's only down 2 in his string, 56 to 54 after 5 in game 4. But Esdale has a commanding 59-pin lead in the match overall. Plus this 2, that gives him 61. First ball. Are we going to see another one? Esdale's up to 5 strikes so far, but not that time. The 4 and 7 are left. Some wood in between. And he steals it. He's off the object pin, but the wood kicked it over. right, 66 in a ball after 6. Another good game going. And he's on the 3-pin. Just 3 in the fill. Fills have frequently been a problem in this match for Dan, but he's holding his own anyway. And he picks up that spare, plays the inside, and picks up an amazing spare. So spare in the 6th, spare in the 7th. 79 plus a ball in the 7th. Will he repeat his 143 in the last string? So Danny, after 3 strings, Dan Esdale is at 354. And Kevin Dietrich's at 295. 7 in the fill for Esdale, 86 after 7. I'll go over all the games at the end of this match, at the end of this game. Just missed a spare that time.
Okay, it's still up 90. It doesn't have to fall all the time.
He left a 6. The bowlers are having some friendly banter here. 9 box for Esdale, 95 after 8. So to rehash a little bit here, game 1, Esdale won that one 103 to 100. Esdale won the second game 108 to 106, and then he won the third game 143 to 89. That's where this 459 pin lead came from. Esdale, first ball box 9, picks up just 4. He's off on the 2-pin, and he's got a 1, 3, 4. Got a bunch down there. He's off on a 6-pin. His eye was drawn by that striped pin. Danny, you need to get rid of the striped pins. And a 7 box, 102 after 9. And Dietrich's looking for a big half coming up here. Esdale's coming in a box 10 of game 4, 102 after 9. That time he punches out, half Worcester left, right on a 2-pin. Had a little interruption in the internet connection. It looks like we're back on. Don't know what happened there. At least on my end it said we had an interruption. And Esdale with a 9 in the 10th box ends up with a 111 for game 4.
My God is here. My God. Oh my God.
And we have a visit in the back from Mike Capone is here. 111 for Dan Esdale in game 4. And 465 after 4 strings. So now Kevin Dietrich coming up for his first box of the second half of game 4. Looking for a big half here in this first ball. He's on the 3-pin. He's left with a 1-2-10. And he gets it. That wood will look pretty tricky. That was a great shot. Spare in a 6. When you're down 59 pins in completed games, you need to have the big half here. That's what he's looking to do. And that'll help. Not a strike. Everything but the 5-pin goes. So 9 in the fill, 73 after 6. And he misses a spare. Wanted to be on the other side of that pin, not on the left. Wanted to be on the right. It's got a piece of wood there. And went to the right that time, didn't get it. 9 box, 82 after 7. Down 4 in the string in completed boxes. Hi, Mike Capone. Good to see you here. Want to come down and say anything? Want to join me? Never known Mike Capone to be shy, but doesn't want to come on the mic right now. Okay, that's fine. Kevin Dietrich drops 7 in the first ball in box 8. And picks up another spare. He needs it. So 92 in a ball after 8 boxes. Threw that one wide. Got a little bit of a break. Picked up a couple of extra in the fill. So a 4 fill, 96 after 8. It's a 1-pin lead over Esdale in this string. Just off of the head pin that time. No spare. Be open in the 9th. And he picks up a nice 10 box for 106 after 9. He's up 4 pins on this string. Needs to be up a lot more than that, but every little bit helps right now. And throws a solid 32-mile-an-hour ball at the 3-pin. 1, 2, 7, 10 left. And he misses wide to the right. He was trying to split the 2 pins. Probably the right way to do that. So 6 so far. He'll win this string. Wants some more pins, whatever he can get. And he ends up with a 6 box for 112. So he comes out 1 pin ahead on this string. But total so far after 4, and this really is 4. Dan Esdale 465, Kevin Dietrich 407. So Esdale's a 58-pin lead going into Game 5. Okay. Esdale, first ball in Game 5. Drops 9, but misses a spare. This is do or die for Dietrich. And Esdale just wants to maintain his lead. 10 bucks for Dan Esdale. And you can hear a lot of background noise here. We've got, looks like a birthday party going on here with a bunch of kids. Another party on the other side, another group anyway. It's great to be here on a Sunday afternoon and see, while not every lane is filled by any stretch, we still have people here and kids enjoying this game, and that's a great thing. So Esdale misses a spare attempt on that one. He's left with a 5 and 10 to make the 10 box. And it'll be an 8 box for 17. Okay, Esdale, box 3 of Game 5. Trying to maintain his 58-pin lead in total. And that was not a bad ball. He picked up 8, and he's left with the 2 and the 7. Some wood there. Looks like a good opportunity for a spare. All over it, no problem. Spare in the 3rd, 28 in the ball. All right, in the fill, box 4. Well, we've seen this a few times. Spread eagle -1, 5 in the fill, 5 on the deck, and not an easy spare to make. 1, 2, 3, or 2, 4, 3, 6, 10. He's going to try to cut the ones on the left to the right. Picks up 2 more. And he's going to get a 9 out of that. Not bad. 42 after 4. All right, box 5, game 5. All right, first ball. Is that going to be another Esdale strike? Nope. 9 drops, 7 pin only. He's left a 7 pin a few times, picked it up a couple times for a spare. And that time he's out of the channel for a 9 box 51 after 5. Not happy about that. Don't blame him. Hate it when that happens. Alright, so Kevin Dietrich comes up. In one string he has to make up a 58 pin deficit. And we all know what that means. Lots of marks. Starts out with a solid hit. Leaves just a 6 and a 10. And he hits just a 10 pin, misses the object. And it's a 9. Hey, Mike Nardone, you're coming in at the end of this. We're in the first half of this 5th game. And Dietrich is trying to overcome a 58 pin deficit. First ball. It's off on the 2 and he drops 7. Misses a spare and makes another 9 box, 18 after 2. They're tied in completed boxes in this string, but he's got a long ways to go to pick up those 59 pins he needs to win. Got a bit of a break, hit the 6 pin, took out 5. 5 pins thinking about going, but I think it's going to stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's at the leave. Just picks up the 3 pin. So now it's 1, 2, 4, 5. And takes everything but the 1 and the 5. So an 8 box, 26 after 3. That time he's on the 2 pin again. And gets a 6 drop, but the leave is the 1, 6, 8, 10. Picks up just the 8. And 1, 6, and 10 are left for the 10 attempt. Picks up a 9 box for 35 after 3. Really coming down to it here. And that was on a 6 pin, took out 5. got a diamond in the middle and a 7-pin on the left. And open in the 5th too. Off on the 3-pin. He's got the 1 and the 2 left for a 10 attempt. So he's going to need a miracle here. And a 44 first half in Game 5. So Esdale coming in to finish his portion of the match. He's up 58 pins on total. A little bit, Dan, sometimes. At least I know you can hear me. All right, first ball is a punch out and a spread eagle. If you're going to do that, it's better when you're up by a bunch than when you're behind. All right, just one. All right, 7 box for Esdale, 58 after 6. All right, coming into box 7. Esdale off the head pin. And he's got a Caleri plus a 10 pin. Don't know what you call that, but that's what I call it. And he just picks up the 8 pin, 5 remaining. And he ends up with a 9 box. Well done. 67 after 7 for Dan Esdale. All right, now he's coming up to box 8. Stripey pin in the front. And he's on it. A little bit full. And he's got the 4-6-7 split with an ugly piece of wood in front of the 4 pin. I don't know what you do with that. He's going into the left channel. Okay, a 9 box. He capped the wood, picked up the 2 on the left. 76 after 8. He needs a mark to go over 100. Leaving a small crack in the door for Dietrich. But Dietrich will need a huge half. He's capable. Esdale on the 3 pin. 4 horsemen left. All right, catches the head pin, threw a pin over there, but the 4 and the 7 stayed up, even though a pin went through the air between them. And he makes a 9. It's 85 after 9. You're going to throw a bad game? Do it when you're way ahead. Okay, 10th and final box for Dan Esdale. Again, the stripe pin is in the head pin position. And again, he's on the 3. And he punches out everything but the 1, 2, 4, 5. Was that the 8? No, 1, 2, 4, 8, 6, 10. Just missed it. Got everything but the head pin. So he'll be under 100 for the first time in this match. And a 10 box. Esdale closes his final string with a 95.
58.
50, you're at 58, yeah. Yeah, so, all right. So, if Dietrich wants to win this match, he's got to win by 59 pins. Tall order in 5 boxes. He's got to go from 44 to, what's that, a 150 something. So it's going to be tough to do. Mathematically not impossible. And Dan Finn, you're correct. That's a 560 for Esdale so far in his total after 5 boxes. All right, 53 after 6 for Kevin Dietrich, 9 box. And drop 7, 1, 2, 4 is the leave. Gonna need a whole bunch of strikes if he wants a chance here. So Dan Esdale is very likely to move forward. And a spare for Dietrich. 153. Thank you, Danny. I didn't have my calculator out. So a spare in the 7th. He needs 100 pins in these 4 boxes, which is all strikes in my view. And that'll do it because he's going to need 3 triples. Or he needs strikes in all of these, yeah. So that should do it. He's a 69 after 7. May well win this string, but not by enough. And not if he throws balls like that. It's a 7 box, 76. They're tied after 8 in this string. He's got 2 boxes left before it's official. Great first ball. Takes out 8, and he's got the 3 and the 9 pin there, a piece of juicy striped wood in front of it. And it doesn't take it. That's been his luck so far today. He had a great bid on that. And a 9 box, 85 after 9, tied with Esdale. And if he wants to win the string, he needs to have a spare. Won the last string by 1 pin. But overcoming that 143 to 89 string in the 3rd, it's too big of a mountain to climb. And be open in the 10th, and that makes it's beneficial for a couple of boxes now, but without a doubt it's official now. And an 8 box. So 93. And that's 500. So Dan Esdale will win our match today and go forward to the semifinals. 560 to 500. And Kevin Dietrich finishes his season. He had a great an opportunity here, snuck in under the wild card and got to take on the number 1 seed. And he did a good job. It's a tough game. So thank you for joining us. The final score today, 560. Dan Esdale. And I'll post this before I sign off. All right, the score is posted. And we'll see Dan in the semifinals, and we'll see Kevin next year. So thank you all for joining me. Fun match to do. Appreciate you being patient with some of my blurry screen. And we'll see you on the lanes.